Julia. Today I wanted to do some experimenting with some of my mixed media art supplies on fabric and then wash them and just see what the results are. I've done a couple of different videos on this, but it's been years, and I really, for my own knowledge, and then also I do have questions from people all the time whether something is washable or not. So I thought we're going to just try it today, and I'm going to test 6 different art supplies. And I do want to just say that a few years ago, I thought I was really going to get into mixed media art, like a paper craft type of a thing, and I bought a lot of supplies, and then I just didn't do it. I'm sure some of you might be in the same boat, or you've started a hobby, buy the supplies and don't do anything with them. And instead of just having these supplies sit there, I've been applying them to my projects. And you never know, maybe when I'm not so busy, I'll get back to more of the art mixed media on paper. So that's always a possibility, but I'm going to be testing out those supplies on fabric. The things I'm going to test, I'm going to test my Inktense blocks, my Neocolor 2, an oil pastel, a gelato, an archival ink, this is just like an ink pad, and then some watercolors. And what I want to do is I want to test them by activating the top roll with the fabric medium. And I'm going to be using the GAC 900. There are several different brands and kinds of fabric medium. This one needs to be heat set. So I will be pressing and ironing and heat setting it after I do my inking, and then I'm also going to activate the bottom one with water. And I'm going to throw it all in the washing machine. I am going to heat set the bottom as well. So both of them will be heat set. And then just see what happens. See if they completely wash out, or if one stays more vibrant than the other. I just, we're just testing and seeing what's happening. I too want to make a note that I am going to be using a stencil. I'm going to be applying the color on the outside of the stencil, and then with this is just a knit rag, I'm going to be either dipping my hand or my finger in the fabric medium, or the bottom row, I'm going to be dipping it into the water. And that'll make more sense as I go. I'm using the stencil just because that's what I use a lot for my backgrounds and things, and just to add a little bit of interest. So I will be using a stencil. Now I already know that the stencil is not going to work very well with a watercolor, because I will have to activate that watercolor before I apply it to the stencil, and it's going to run all over. That's just what it's going to do. And also the archival ink is an ink pad, and I'm going to use just like a soft makeup brush to apply that through the stencil, and that will not be activated at all. So I will not be using the fabric medium on that or the water, but I am going to heat set it. I'm going to just throw that through the wash and see what happens. One more thing I want to mention, I did write some lines on this and also some words. And I thought I might as well test some pens as well as the mixed media art supplies, just to see how washable they are. The vertical and horizontal lines I put on with my Pitt pens. These come in 4 different size nibs, and I use the medium on this. These are Indian ink, and they're waterproof. And then for the actual words, I put those on with my Deluxe Micro Uniball pen. I use this pen a lot when I'm drawing on my water-soluble stabilizer. So I thought it might be a good idea just to test this out. Maybe it also works as a waterproof pen when you're writing on fabric. My first thing I'm going to be working with are my Inktense blocks. Just going to put a little bit of that fabric medium in that little white tray, and then I also have my water beside me, and I'm dipping it into that that fabric medium first, and then just activating this color through this stencil. The Inktense are very vibrant. They're really a lot of fun to work with. Going to be doing the same now on the bottom part with the water. Right away, I do notice that the fabric medium is a little bit heavier than the water. The water is just more runny, and it's a little bit more vibrant on the bottom on most of these. The next one is the Neo Colors. This is a waxy pastel, I would say. And of all of the different medias that I use, this is the one I really liked the least as far as the application. It just didn't want to, I just couldn't get much color out of it. And you'll see it here too when I lift this one up. The oil pastel, this was a surprise to me, and I'm going to be going more into that and do more of a demonstration of the oil pastels at the end of this video. I think you might like to see this a little bit more. And then again, the bottom one I did find was a little bit lighter on the oil pastel as well with the water versus the fabric medium. Now these are the gelatos. They're just a fun product. They look like lipstick. They just turn up, and they're creamy. Much more creamier than the Durant Inktense or the oil pastels. I also felt that the water was just as vibrant as the fabric medium on the gelatos. Now I have the archival ink pads. This is a product by Ranger, and I'm just using a fabric or a makeup brush that I'm going to be just applying this through the stencil. I just got these new colors. I just purchased these, and I thought they had a really fun Christmas red and a Christmas green. And this is like the cranberry color. And again, this one is not activated at all, so I'm just going to be doing the one test on this. And then the last one is my watercolor set. This is the set called Koi by Koi. It's like a field set, so it's small like this. Fun to take with when you're traveling. And I am just activating this one. I'm just putting it right in the fabric medium. One thing I'll tell you right away is this fabric medium changed the color of this watercolor. It looks milkier, like I would have added white to the color. I'm not sure if there's any fabric medium that's clear. I only have gotten the white one, the white color. But you'll see when I do the two that this one definitely has a milkier color to it. And now on to the one with the water. I'm going to clean out that blue first with just a part of my rag there to get that fabric medium out of there, and then applying water and picking up water and adding water to my little palette. So I'm going to be going right through the stencil. And then you can see the different color of this particular one versus the one that's with the fabric medium. Now, I was really unhappy with the neon color too, and so I'm going over it with a different color. Just thinking maybe that's going to make it a bit more vibrant. Again, this is my least favorite. And then it's on to ironing this or pressing this. And the fabric medium, it says right on there, you should heat set it for 3 to 5 minutes. And I'm just going to put this piece of parchment paper over the top of it, and then we'll be pressing this for 3 to 5 minutes. I did iron it on both sides. And also, after I got done, I went to my washing machine and I did throw this in with a load of towels. And then I will also put it in the dryer. Here's what it looks like after it's been heat set. And we'll see what it looks like when it gets out. I just got it out of the dryer and I pressed it. And I wanted to go over some of the results that I see. Very little difference, to be honest with you, between the product that I activated with golden fabric medium versus the water. I did notice quite a bit of lightening in the neon color too, which are the ones that look like these. They're just very shaped like a crayon. And that's the one that I like the least as far as the application. They just didn't seem to want to go on as well as some of the other ones. Very little difference in the ink tints between the two. This one maybe lightened a little bit, the water. And also maybe a little bit of a difference in the oil pastel. The gelatos are really creamy, just delicious to work with. They're a lot of fun. They're the ones that look like a lipstick. I really think that the archival ink pads are a wonderful investment. They come in a lot of different colors, or you can just get it in black and brown. You can also just use your regular rubber stamps and stamp on fabric, and you put your little phrases or whatever you want to add to a project. They seem to be very permanent, and they didn't affect the water, and the washing didn't affect it at all. The watercolor one is the one that you probably can't control as well as the other ones. Sometimes it tends to seep into the fiber a little bit more through the stencil, but I love the result of it. To watercolor, it could be that one color isn't as staining as another color. The blue was just held up really well through washing. I wanted to share with you too, if like just my opinion, like if you were on a budget and you just didn't want to spend the money for another thing, and are you wondering, if you just want to get one, what would I get? One or two? I think I would get some archival ink pads. But also, I was so impressed with the oil pastel. And I'll share with you what I purchased. And I got these many years ago. These come in a pack of 24, and I will link this down below for you in my supply list. I'll link all of these, but this one in particular, I would just advise you to take a look at. These are student grade, and they're the Portfolio brand. These are very inexpensive, like 24 colors for right around $10. So, I mean, like I said, very inexpensive. And been doing some more playing with them. And I'll have to share with you some of the results I've gotten. I just did a little bit of just some doodling on this piece. And I just have regular water here that I'm going to be dipping in. Oh, and they also, they blend well. Like I said, they were just really a lot of fun. And I just went right on the piece. Yeah, let's get one more color here. Let me just do this one. Just to add a little bit so you can kind of see what it looks like when they're activated. And color in. Zoom in a little bit more here so you can really see. They stay very, very vibrant. Now this is just a canvas that I have. It's like a cotton, 100% cotton canvas, a 10-ounce weight. I'll link this down below too. I do enjoy using these for my bags, but wouldn't it be fun to just add a doodle and some paint on a bag like this? Another thing that I really like about this set is if you are into doing little women, little girl figures, it does have our faces. It does have several different skin colors, and skin tones, and I'm just going to share with you some of those. I'm going to see too if it blends at all. I'm just going to add a yellow and a red and see if I get some orange going on. Can see a little bit. Get to experiment with it a little. This is probably a better red. I'll try it again here. This just gave you some inspiration, gave you some ideas. It's so much fun to be able to add some color to your projects and know that it's going to be color fast. I hope you enjoyed this, everybody. Have a great week. Bye for now.